Your boy needs a haircut. Good afternoon, everyone. This is SC Transplant, also known as Martin, coming to you from South Carolina, Zone 7B. Thanks a lot for joining me today. Hope you had a pleasant Easter. Today is the Monday after Easter, so I hope everyone had a wonderful Easter Sunday. And thanks for joining me. Also, thanks for all the outpouring of support and anticipation for my video. I did not know my original two videos were going to take off the way they did, so thanks a lot to all of you for your support. Now we're going to move over to the tour. We're going to start with the front of the house, our little humble abode in Zone 7B in South Carolina. Part of my delay was that I'm so anal in trying to get the property looking just perfect that I realized that's never going to happen. So I just went for it. Like I said, due to overwhelming demand and popularity, I just went ahead and started capturing my videos, and there'll be some incidentals here and there, but please excuse them and walk along with me. So as you can see, we provided or added some quality mulch around our landscaping, and I did mention this this tree here and how you don't want to really plant mulch all the way up the bark. You want to kind of make a dish to prevent mulch volcanoes, which encourage disease and rotting. So we actually saved this tree because it was delivered to us by the builder with some damage to it, but we were able to bring it back. And as you can see, it's healthy and it's thriving and it's pretty happy. So we're happy with it. It's happy with us. So moving on to the landscape, you can see things are popping beautifully. This shrub on your left hand side here, this guy here is a holly shrub. It was planted by the builder. It's happy. It was pruned down by our gardener landscaper this past fall, and it's encouraged. It's really growing in pretty nicely. As you can see here, I added some hummingbird feeders to both sides of the property. I installed window boxes, and I have calibrachoas planted in them that I got from Creekside Nursery up in Dallas, North Carolina, and they're doing pretty happy. So, and here are our lower sunshine ligustrum, excuse me. They are popping. I mentioned to you that they were kind of stressed because this area was really wet, and they don't really respond to being really wet and water. They like it dry, they like it hot. And as you can see from my last video, and I'll probably snap in a little snapshot of them the way they looked a few weeks ago. So on the left base here is that is a viola. It's popped, and I don't know if you recall, these plants were potted before we had a frost last fall. They stressed out due to that frost, so they're popping back nicely. So that's a viola. Over there on the far left, that's a calibrachoa. And remember the lower petalums? I had those planted in pots in the backyard on the patio where I put them in the ground where the hyacinths were planted. So they're looking good. So again, that's a dianthus, that white bush there, a sunshine ligustrum. And look at that guy there. I was so happy to report to you that I ordered one of those. That is a Gertrude Jekyll climbing rose by David Austin. I planted that. It came in the mail a few weeks ago, and what I'm going to do is train it to go up this trellis, and I'm going to have it come up along the right and train it ever so slightly to go up the trellis and part way up that wall and cover that window, which is our guest bedroom. So our guests are going to be blessed with seeing these flower boxes, the hummingbirds coming to the hummingbird feeder, and that empty hook is going to have a hanging basket there. So this is all going to look hopefully really nice when it's done. So more violas that I planted in the fall in those pots that got winter damage. As you can see, they popped. And then also I did hit them with some fertilizer when it got warm here. We got like 80-degree weather a few days ago, and now we're down in the 50s for a few days, a couple nights close to frost, then we're going to be in full spring mode here. So this is the This tall plant here is the hibiscus with more supertunias planted in the bottom, more sunshine ligustrum. I forgot to mention on the other side the camellia. So I anchored camellia in between these two sunshine ligustrum, and then with the loropetalum in the front. So that's going to make for a nice anchorage piece in the middle. So really happy about that. And again, this other guest bedroom blessed with more super bells and another hummingbird feeder. So we've heard the hummingbirds are out. We'll wait to see them. We'll see what happens. So again, there's another potted plant of supertunias, and I just kind of, I don't have any particular style right now. I just kind of just go through and plant, you know, as I see fit. So in the corner here, I overwintered these plants, except for the red pot. I overwintered these plants. I shouldn't say overwintered. And in these pots here, I winter sown them, except for the red pot. I am trying to overwinter that sunflower in the red pot. But the black pot in the front, the two purple pots are overwintered. The black pot is some wildflowers. I mean, they grow wild. You can just sow them in the soil. But I just wanted to see if I could do it, and I'm happy that they sprung up. And I'll be planting them in the rear landscape, which I'll discuss with you in a few moments. The two purple pots are Asiatic lilies that I planted last fall. I had them overwintering in the garage. The flag is playing tricks on me now. So, and then in that gray pot with the ivy coming out of it, that is a mandevilla. So I'm kind of proud of myself that I'm able to pronounce it now, because a lot of times I get tongue-tied trying to describe that plant. So I got it on the first try, so I'm pretty happy about that. So moving around to the front of the house, that is some more pansies there, and the one in the back is a golden hieronymus. I had that golden hieronymus over here in the spot where this closest sunshine ligustrum is, and he wasn't really doing well there. He's happy where he is now. So then moving around to the front of the house, this vase here is more Asiatic lilies. This black vase is going to be assortment of different colored ones. So I can't wait to see what they look like when they sprung. And if you see these little nubs here, this was kind of funny because the instructions for planting say to plant them 6 to 8 inches deep, which I did, but they weren't sprouting. And I dug them up and I brought them to the surface. I planted them like 4 inches deep because I wasn't finding anything. And when I pulled them up and put them on top, they started greening up. When I first pulled them up, they were white, like, you know, albino, like they weren't getting enough sunlight. So that's been a few weeks ago. They're springing up pretty nicely. This guy right here, the purple calibrachoa, I actually got him from over there. The calibrachoa underneath that camellia is it reseeds itself. So this is the 3rd season we've had it. I actually pulled this from that seeding in the front garden, and it's a plant that keeps on giving. So we're just going to kind of let it do its thing. So the aqua or green pot is a hydrangea propagation. If you don't know what propagation is, that's when you cut off a plant, you strip it, and you replant that limb that you cut off. You stick it in soil, water it, and you're able to quote-unquote propagate it, basically making another plant out of that. So, and this guy on the end, that's another hydrangea. I actually got him from over here on this side, the plant furthest to the curb, because he was growing out of shape. So I just went ahead and decided to just cut him back. Those are panicle hydrangeas. I don't know if I'm going to get any blooms. I cut them back severely because they were diseased last season. They got some powdery mildew, so I cut them back just to try to encourage better growth, and I'm pretty happy with the way they're looking. So this is our little utility box area. I got out here and edged while the soil was still wet. It came out pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with that. So just kind of give the house some nicer curb appeal than your standard, you know, builder grade landscaping. So hope you guys are enjoying that. So again, more violas, Calibrachoa viola. I don't really know what this guy in the back here, I don't even know what that is. We'll figure it out in a couple months. This guy here is a sunflower over here, so I'll see what he looks like. It's kind of interesting how he just popped up one day. And this is Shasta Daisy. This was supposed to be a temporary spot for him, but as you can see, he's liking it there. So I don't know if I want to, you know, risk moving him. So all right, I'm going to move to the back now. And here we are again in the backyard. As you can see, this camellia that I mentioned in the first two videos is he's hanging in there. I don't know if this area is just not conducive for plants because of the shade dryness. I'm gonna see. I know that this camellia here, that soil there stays dry, but the strange thing is where this yellow flag is, those are Asiatic lilies. Again, I got a bunch of those. I only wanted like 3 to 5 of them. I got like 10 of them. It's the smallest amount you can get, but anyway, they're sprouting up and they look happy. So I'm not really sure what to do about this guy. He has fertilizer, he has compost, he gets water. We had a big rainstorm over the weekend. I don't really know. You know, he's not sprouting. He doesn't look healthy. He looks content. So maybe I should be patient. I don't know. But anyway, the tall, spiky guy in the back, those are the bearded irises our neighbor gave us a couple years back. And I talked about them not blooming this season. And look at that. Look at that plant in the back. Look at the flower. Now, we had intensive rain. So the flower petals, foliage, whatever you want to call it, they got a little rain damage because it was, poured and it was cool. So I'm waiting to see what this guy looks like when he blooms. I'll take a snapshot of him and I'll post it up on the next video so you can see it in its real beauty there. So I don't know what this guy is here. He might be a zucchini. I forget what the hollyhock. He looks like he could be a hollyhock because I'm known to plant seeds, wildflower seeds wherever and whenever. And another hummingbird feeders, as you know. We're avid hummingbird watchers, so that's what that is. Again, Macrophylla, camellia, he's, you know, okay in that spot. He's not really happy. He's not really flourishing. We'll see. Bearded iris. And I'm so proud, another bearded iris. I'm so proud of these two here. So these are Macrophylla hydrangeas. I separated these two over the winter. I overwintered this one, the mother plant, in the garage. Once it started to green up in the garage, I yanked it out of a larger container. I split the root ball in half. I filled the other container with soil, rooting hormone, fertilizer, and look, they are just about ready to do their thing in a few weeks, and I am so excited. They have these big, luscious pink leaves. I just can't wait. And along the base here, I planted shaded wildflower seeds. You can see them trying to grow in, and I'm just winging it, for $2 or $3 a pack. Nothing here, nothing wants to grow here, so I'm just giving it a whirl. Whatever comes up, comes up. I'm not stressing about it. I'm having a good time. That's the other Macrophylla camellia. He's not happy. I think he's dead. As a matter of fact, let's do the scratch test and see what we got here. Yeah, he's dead. Now that was green for me a few weeks ago. I think he's gone. I'm not stressing about him. The landscaper suggested them. They're not as happy as the one on the end there. So the Susquehanna, Hoochie, whatever they call it. Excuse me, y'all. I'm just getting into the planting and identifying plants. So I don't know the names by heart. If you do and you feel like you want to throw it up there and give me some direction, I'd appreciate it. Again, nothing wants to grow along here, so I spread some shade wildflower seeds all along in here. I don't mind that the grass is going to grow in between it. I want it to look wild. I want it to look unkept. And as long as something grows there and the seed variety sprouts up a different plant every few weeks, that's going to look really nice. So I can't wait to see that grow in and share that with you as well. So now we're going to move on to the patio area. So here is our patio area. I tell you, we love coming out here in the summertime. And I mean, South Carolina, I mean, come on. This is a beautiful place to live. And I am like really stoked to be out here and being able to plant year round. My neighbor's dog's howling in the background. But yeah, this is our patio. Our last video, or my last video, I had planters out here, pots and stuff from overwintering. I removed them. I'm kind of a snobbish. I like my garden to be clean, well kept. And look at the grass in the background. Our landscaper does a phenomenal job. They came on Easter Sunday, which I was shocked. They came here Easter Sunday and they really got to it. So again, this is our patio area. I got daisies, sunflowers here, creeping Jenny. That's going to spill over and fall out the side of the pots with these plants just raised up. It's going to look so nice. Again, more creeping Jenny, some violas, some calibrachoas, some pansies in that pot there. Another hummingbird feeder, and that little blue thing is a globe. It lights up multicolor at night. It's real pretty at night. So, and again, more calibrachoa, creeping Jenny, and that's it. So this is our humble abode. Those little pots on the floor there, I'm going to try my Sunfinity sunflower seeds again. They didn't take during the overwintering, but I believe it was too cold for what I was trying to do. So I'm going to try again now that the weather is going to be warm and stay warm from what I hear. So now we're going to move over to our next video, which is going to be our pollinator sanctuary. Wow. Wow. Do you remember this? Do you remember what it looked like? And it was cloudy and overcast outside. So this same landscaper, he came. I asked him to quote the removal of these trees for us. And he came one day out of clear blue sky. It's kind of hard to nail him down to get things done, but he came out of clear blue sky one day, cleared these trees, and of course I had at it. So all in there where you see the little sprigs popping up, those are mammoth sunflowers. I had those seeded in the garage over winter. I put those plugs in. I actually have sunflower seeds in the soil. I amended the soil and fertilized it. So that's going to be all wild sunflowers in the back. And then along the middle area here, that's what the flags are representing basically. All the middle area here is going to be wildflowers, all in this middle area. And then this front area are going to be these bushes. So that's a butterfly bush on the end, salvia, butterfly. So if you can just picture that, that's going to be a pollinator sanctuary. There's going to be sunflowers, all different kind of wildflowers, hollyhock, just different varieties there. I even have some milkweed in the garage. I've had it out here up until it got cool a few nights ago, and they're seedlings. So I'm waiting for them to sprout before I transplant them. But in case you don't know, milkweed is a butterfly, monarch butterfly plant. Monarch butterflies feed on them in their migration. So I can't wait to see all the hummingbirds, butterflies, just different variety of pollinators, the bees, just, you know, making their way through our yard. So yep, so from there we're going to move on to the side of the house and close this out. Now you may not notice this subtle change, but what I did along here is this was just kind of haphazardly planted. There used to be trees here and they were sick and we had them removed. But I haphazardly just threw some mulch there, just stuck a couple plants in the ground, and I wanted to define the area. So what I ended up doing is I took some cardboard, newspaper actually, and I sheet mulched it to try to make as best I can of a straight line on this little mound where the trees were. And I got that idea from a young lady named Jay. She's somewhere here in South Carolina, I believe, and her idea came out great. So I laid down some spikes, some bamboo spikes in a straight line, used the water hose. I put the newspaper down and I mulched on top of it. And you can see little bits of the newspaper popping up. So that'll biodegrade and actually help the soil, amend the soil. So that was an idea. Thank you, Jay, from Jay's Garden. That is a frost-free gardenia. That's actually been adopted by one of my cousins. So I'm gonna get that out the ground. And I think, see, it's suffering. It got winter damage, but most of all, I think also it's suffering from, you know, shade dryness. You know, you can water and water and water these spots near these trees, but they're just going to gobble up all the nutrients in the water from these spots. So this is a Loropetalum. I wish I had taken a video sooner when it first bloomed. It had pretty pink flowers as well as these dark burgundy leaves there. So with the hot, cold weather, it's stressing out a bit, but trust me, it's going to look beautiful once it sprouts. I sowed in different varieties of shade wildflowers. This is about 3:30 in the afternoon, so this spot gets a little peak of sun in the middle of the day. So, and again, the flags are to denote for the landscaper that these are not weeds. These are actually plants or flowers that I'm planting, and to please don't spray them. This guy here is a gardenia. What happened with this guy is he got winter damage. The winter cold air swoops around this corner of the house, and it hits it. It whisks through here. Our bedroom windows behind me, and we can hear the wind all winter long. So what I ended up doing yesterday, Easter Sunday, I got out here and I cut back anything dead, anything that I could just break off. Did I miss a spot? Yeah, I missed a spot. Anything I could break off with my hand, I cut it all back until I saw yellow and orange, green. And any one of these shoots where I saw green popping out, I cut it back to that point. So to try to encourage, you know, growth. So see that one has a little green on it. So we'll see what happens. We'll monitor it. Good thing about buying plants from the big box stores is that 1-year guarantee. I support both the little guy and the big guy, you know, as it suits my needs, you know. So, and there's another plant that's sprouting up. That is a begonia. I don't think that's a begonia. I think I left a tag there. We'll see. I don't know. I start losing track of what's what. So, and this guy here, these sprouted up, but it got cold. But these are going to be morning glory when they pop up. So I put a tag there originally. That's going to be morning glory. See, I planted on 2/1/23. So, we'll see. Another Loropetalum again. Big pink, beautiful flowers, stressed out, but you can see it's trying to come back with this warm 60-degree day. I actually have a jacket on, I'm getting hot. I believe this is a Shasta Daisy. Yes, it is. So that's actually a smaller version of the big one I showed you in the corner. And I have one right next to it. So there's one of the stumps from the trees we cut out. And this is actually what that's going to be later. That is a Shasta Daisy. Now this had leaf foliage all last season, planted it from seeds. It did not spring any buds, so we are excited to see what's going to happen this year. It looks very happy, very comfortable here. So this is another gardenia. I call these tropical gardenias as opposed to the one I showed you in the front. That's a spiked gardenia. They call it frost-free. These look more like they belong on a tropical island. That one looks like more, I don't know, it's rugged. It doesn't look as delicate as those. So another Loropetalum. This was my pride and joy. I planted this from a 1-gallon pot, and it's grown to about 3 or 4 feet tall. The landscaper pruned it last fall, but this is my pride and joy of all my shrubs. It really does look good. It's going to come around nicely. So I planted these from seeds here. These are Mexican sunflowers, some creeping, climbing varieties of wildflowers. So I put these bamboo sticks in here and hope to encourage it to climb. So we'll see what happens. There's another Shasta daisy, a smaller version of that big one back there. Grew that from seed as well. We'll see what happens. Now, this is a loropetalum, and I'm afraid this one might be done. I'm gonna see what happens here, but I'm thinking it's done. It came back when we had a warm spell. That cold snap might have done it in, so we'll monitor that. Again, that's why we have the big box stores out there. Yeah, so I am so stoked at the garden and the progress. I love living here in South Carolina, Zone 7B, planting year-round, learning the plant varieties, learning about native plants. Also, on the South Carolina Native Plant Facebook page, so learning about that, and I want to implement more of those into the landscape. So thanks for joining me here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to spend a few minutes here with me, Martin, SC Transplant, Zone 7B, South Carolina. Y'all take care. God bless you till the next one.